Hi, my name is Melanie Sudetic, and I'm a registered dietitian with Sodexo at University Hospitals. And today we're going to be talking about quick, non-cooked meals.
I'm Anthony Verona. I'm the culinary director for UH with Sodexo. Welcome, everyone.
So quick, non-cooked meals come in handy when we're traveling, when we have limited time, or when we don't have the appliances to cook meals. So it's really important when we're cooking, or not cooking, when we're preparing non-cooked meals to include as many food groups as possible. That way we'll be consuming as many vitamins and minerals as possible.
So today, let me talk to you a little bit about what we're gonna do. So look at all these fresh vegetables, first of all, and fruits. We're gonna utilize all this, and I'm gonna show you how to cut them, which I think is important, which segues me to knife skills. So I wanna talk a little bit about knives, what they're used for, obviously what they're used for, but what different types of knives what they would be used for, and just describe a little bit about it, and then I'm going to go into showing you, how to use a knife real quick. It sounds kind of simple, but it's really not. So, first of all, knife safety. You can cut yourself. So I've been in the business for about 25, 30 years, and I've been fortunate enough not to cut myself very bad. A couple stitches here and there. I think every chef's going to have a few of those. But I want to talk about knife safety real quick. So if you're dealing with a knife, working with a knife, and it falls, I wouldn't catch it, right? The saying is a falling knife has no handle, so just let it fall to the ground. That's important. The other thing is never use a knife as a tool. I've seen in the restaurant business, in the kitchen, I've seen people opening boxes with them. Maybe at home you're going to do that. You get a package from Amazon and I've seen it where you're going to cut yourself. It's not meant for that. It's a tool only for cutting fruits and vegetables and foods. The other thing is when you're handing somebody a knife, you want to grab it by the back and you hand it to them with the handle. That's pretty common sense. Also, never leave your knives in the sink, right? And this is obviously more based around food service, but we have big, large sinks. And if you throw a knife in the sink with running water, you can't see it, the dishwasher grabs it. But same at your house. If you fill your sink up with water, or you have a bus tub or something, or a dish tub, don't throw it in there. When you're done using it, just go ahead and clean it and put it away yourself. The other thing is never put your knife in the dishwasher, right? Because what happens is water seeps into these parts and then ends up separating, and it gets high heat and all this stuff. So just wash it yourself, never put it in the dishwasher. So let's talk a little bit quickly about knives, not too long. This is a slicing knife, okay? And I just want to describe some things. You can see this goes all the way through the handle. That's called a tang. That's called full tang. It's got rivets in here. That's going to add a lot more sturdiness and just a little bit heavier and heavy duty. This is for slicing roast meats. It's a straight edge, so you wouldn't slice bread with this. Mostly what they do is just carve meats with this. This is a bread slicer, pretty simple. You can carve some melons and things like that, but this is serrated, real good for bread. This is an 8-inch French knife. This is the most common knife you're gonna use. I'm sure everybody's got one of these, and I'm gonna be using this today. Here's a little paring knife. This is good for a little intricate work. Might be using a little bit of that. And then something kind of cool is this is what they call a channel knife. This is for running back down vegetables and so forth to give it just a really cool look. So I just wanted to review some knives with you. The last thing is the steel. This is a steel. This is for honing your knife, all right? There's a difference between sharpening and honing. So I'm going to show you real quick. 20-degree angle. This takes a little bit of skill, but you really want to take it from the base here all the way to the tip at a 20-degree angle. What's happening in this is through time, there are natural serrations on this blade that you can't see, and they get kind of intertwined. You want to kind of line them back up, okay? So a knife kind of is like this. It moves to the right, it moves to the left, and what this is going to do is realign it and get it nice and sharp. You'll be amazed how it brings it back to life. But if you really want to sharpen a blade, you need to use a stone or something. We're not going to get into that today. That's a little bit different. Okay, let's talk about our recipes here. What are you going to learn? You obviously learned a little bit about knives, what they are. You're going to learn about knife skills. I'm going to show you about knife skills. The other thing I want to say is that we're dealing with ready-to-eat foods. What is a ready-to-eat food? Something that you're not going to cook. So it's gonna go straight from my hand into your mouth, so we wanna wear some protective gloves. We're gonna learn about plating methods, and let's get started. First of all, some terms. Mise en place. What's mise en place? Mise en place is a French term that means everything in its place and every place in its thing. And you can see what I have here. I got all my stuff ready to go, okay? This is important. Now at home, are you gonna do all this? Probably not. But if you need something, say you're stir frying a vegetable or some shrimp or whatever it is, and you have broccoli and carrots and snow peas, and all of a sudden you're stir frying and you figure out, well, where's my snow peas? I gotta run to the kitchen or the refrigerator and get them. By the time you come back, the stir fry is all messed up. So you need to have everything ready to go. That's what mise en place is. That's a French term. We're also gonna learn about the knife parts, which we did, and blanching. Blanching is very important because we did that today with this farro, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about blanching. All right, so let's talk about our recipes. We're going to make a strawberry avocado salad. It's exactly what it sounds like, but it's got some other cool ingredients, and we're going to show you how to make that right now. So, first of all, I'm going to make my dressing. Since I talked about blanching just a minute ago, this is farro, which is a grain. It's very hardy, okay? So what I do with this is I bring up about 10 cups of water to a rolling boil, and I put this amount of farro in there, and I cooked it for about 45 minutes. A lot of recipes will tell you how to cook farro like rice, where it's 3-to-1, 2-to-1, you know, where you cook rice and it absorbs all the liquid. I like to cook farro like pasta, right? I didn't show you that today just because it takes so long, but I cooked it just till it was al dente, or to the tooth. So a little firm, but not, you know, edible for sure. So I cooked that, and then I blanched it. I put it in ice or a cold running water. That does two things. That brings the temperature down, which is important because you want to stop the cooking. Secondly, it removes all the starch. If you let this sit, it's going to get all starchy, it's going to get gummy, it's going to be like a risotto, so it's something that you want to rinse all the starch off. Melanie, anything you want to add about farro?
Nothing about farro, but now I'm going to go over a couple quick nutritious, quick meal ideas. So for example, for breakfast, you could do a peanut butter banana wrap. You can get a whole wheat wrap, spread some peanut butter in there, chop up some bananas, put some chopped walnuts and cinnamon and roll it up. And then another idea is overnight oats. You can add oats, milk, and then your choice of fruit, nuts, and seeds together. Cover that up, put it in the refrigerator overnight, and then you have overnight oats. Another idea for lunch is egg salad. So you could just add that to a whole wheat wrap or a whole wheat bread. You can add spinach and bell pepper slices onto that. And then also you can add a slice of fruit and then a cheese stick on the side. And then also an idea for dinner, you can build your meal around a salad. So have your greens such as spinach or romaine lettuce, add some extra veggies like carrots, cucumbers, bell peppers, and then for your protein, you can add a hard-boiled egg, chicken, or beans. And then to add in some healthy fats, you can add in avocado and then also nuts and seeds. And then always remember to go easy on the dressing.
All right, let's get back to the recipe. So we're making a strawberry avocado salad. First, I want to make the dressing. What did I add in here? I added a little Dijon mustard. Dijon mustard is packed full of flavor. There's some vinegar in there. There's a lot of spiciness from the Dijon mustard, but it's also going to emulsify. What's emulsify? You know, when you have water, what's the saying? Oil and water doesn't mix, right? Well, it does when you add Dijon mustard. So you've seen a typical vinaigrette where the oil separates from the vinegar. That happens a lot. This is going to bring it all together and make a homogeneous emulsified vinaigrette. So what I have here is a little bit of salt and pepper, some Dijon mustard. I'm going to add my balsamic vinegar. I'm going to whisk that together. I have a little bit of honey. Mix that together. So that Dijon, I'm just going to incorporate it, get it nice and smooth in there. And what I'm going to do is just make a little nest here just to hold my bowl, because what I want to do is slowly drizzle. This is extra virgin olive oil. You probably can't see it, but I'll show you the final product. What you want to do is whisk this together slowly. If I just dump this in, no matter how much mustard I add, it's going to separate. So what you're going to get now is a nice homogeneous vinaigrette. The other thing is if you buy this type of vinaigrette in the supermarket, which you can, but there's gonna be a ton of salt, there's gonna be tons of different thickeners and things to hold it together. I mean, I'm making this dressing in 3 minutes. You don't have to pay $5 or whatever it is from a dressing manufacturer, and then you don't have to deal with all the extra ingredients that are in there. Wish I had a clear bowl, but see how I'm slowly whisking this in. Now, if you could do this without Dijon mustard and it would still work, but that Dijon is just an extra little security. Can you see that? Let me show you. There we go. Perfect. It's all homogenized, it's all emulsified, it's ready to go. So there's our dressing. Obviously, want to taste it first. That's beautiful. A little bit of sweetness. Let's get back to our farro. Okay. So what I like to do is take this farro, and when I add just a little bit of vinaigrette to it. And remember what I talked about, some of the learning, what you're gonna learn out of here is how to plate, okay? Sure, we could toss all the ingredients in here and just fold it together and throw it on a plate, but I don't wanna do that because I wanna make this look pretty. So I'm gonna add a little bit of dressing to my farro. Toss it together, right? This is layering flavors. You're not just gonna have farro all by itself. Let's take a strawberry, okay? You can see what I'm doing with my finger. I got like a claw method. I want nice big slices of strawberry. We're only gonna do one portion here, or maybe a couple portions, but we're just gonna plate up one portion, okay? Toasted walnuts. I put these regular walnuts, threw them on a tray, toasted them in the oven for about 6 to 8 minutes until I started smelling them, pulled them out. That's it. That's going to really, really bring out the flavor. Okay. Avocado. I kind of want to do this at the last minute. So once I get everything plated up, we're going to do it right at the last minute. Here's my spinach. We're only going to do one portion. This is baby spinach, so these stems are perfectly fine. No big deal. They're tender. Let's take a pair of tongs. Again, a little bit of dressing. You see what I'm doing is I'm layering these flavors. Just a little bit of dressing. A little bit of salt and pepper. I know we added salt and pepper to the dressing, but this is, again, layering flavors. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of my walnuts. I'm going to put some in my spinach. I'm going to put some in my farro. Same with my feta cheese, a little bit in there. And a little bit in my farro. Strawberries, a little bit in my spinach, a little bit in my farro. And there's method to my madness here because we're going to garnish afterwards with this stuff. Okay, let me make sure I got everything in there. Spinach, the farro. Okay, now my avocado will be last. We're going to put that on top. I think this needs just a little bit more dressing. All right, put this down. Now I like to use my hand in this because I want to kind of keep it kind of all in the middle. Okay. All right, now here's my farro. Hearty salad. Vegetarian. I'm gonna add this just a little bit to the sides here. We're gonna finish and clean this up in a minute. I want you to see that farro when it's served. Beautiful. You see I put that spinach down first, so now it's all contained by the farro. Add some more strawberries on top. A couple more walnuts. Some feta cheese. And then lastly, we're gonna add this avocado. So let me show you how to cut this avocado. See how I run it around? There's a big, okay, beautiful avocado. So there's a little bit of a seed in there. Now what I like to do is just slice this. Actually, I take a spoon, a couple different ways, but that's what I like to do, is take a spoon and run it. And this is just, I can feel it. You know, when you buy an avocado, you want to be able to take it, put your thumb, and it's just a little soft. So you want to be able to push it in just a little. Obviously, if it's too soft, then it's overripe. If it's too hard, it's not ripe enough. So I'm going to take my knife, nice thin, and I put a whole half of avocado in there. You see how I fan that out a little bit? Put that right there. Wipe my knife off. There we go. Hey, why don't you, I found some nice raspberries too. That's not in the recipe, but why not? Okay? There you go.
This salad's going to provide nutrients such as fiber, iron, folate, calcium, magnesium, potassium, vitamins such as A, C, E, and K, also antioxidants, and healthy monounsaturated fats.
I forgot to add a little bit more dressing. That's good. That'll be perfect. You see, I didn't put any over that avocado. I want to leave that nice and fresh. So you want to serve that immediately, because this avocado will start to turn brown on you. So if you're doing a dinner party or something, get that avocado on there and serve it immediately. If you want to serve it within 20, 30 minutes, put a little squeeze of fresh lemon, and that'll help it for a little bit, okay? You want to start on the next recipe? You want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, so the next recipe, we're going to be making a crunchy chicken salad. So some of the nutrients that this recipe is going to provide is protein, fiber, B vitamins, vitamin A, C, D, K, also calcium, folate, selenium, phosphorus, potassium, antioxidants, and probiotics. So obviously it's a very nutritious meal and it's quick and easy.
All right, here we go. Let's start off with the chicken. So I took some chicken breasts. You could use canned chicken, you could use chicken breasts, you could use chicken thighs. I just happen to have some grilled chicken left over from the night before. Not really, I grilled this off. But if you had some leftover chicken, this would be perfect. Rotisserie chicken from the supermarket leftover would be great, whatever you want. Okay, so let me take this chicken out. So I'm just gonna cut this up. And again, remember we talked about using a knife. I just wanna show you, to keep it safe, I'm gonna use that claw method, okay? And I wanna run the edge of my knife around on my knuckle, okay? I use that as a guide. So you can see, I'm always feeling that knife, and it lets me cut perfect little cubes. See, look at that. I mean, all those, they're pretty much all the same. And that's important, especially with a salad like this, is you want the pieces to be very similar in size. It eats a little bit better. You know, it also helps, knife skills helps with the cooking process. If you cut a vegetable bigger than the next and you're sauteing it or something, it's gonna take longer to cook, and then by the time this item's done cooking, one vegetable's overcooked, one's undercooked. So I'm gonna cut everything pretty much the same size. Just remember that your chicken needs to be cooked to 165 degrees, which is important. So if you cooked it the night before, make sure that you cooled it properly and that you used a little instant read thermometer, which can be found everywhere. Now we're calling this crunchy chicken salad. There's a reason why, because there's a lot of crunch to it. Again, I washed all these vegetables. Here's some celery. It's almost like a Waldorf salad, if you've heard of Waldorf before. And I want this kind of nice, again, almost the same size as the chicken. Beautiful. What else goes in there? I think apple goes in there. Again, all washed. I like to cut just the ends off a little bit. We're going to cut these into I leave the skin on. I mean, look at that. I didn't waste that much. See? Again, same size. And so far, these ingredients that are going in here are going to be all mixed together and just really cool. Now, we're going to use low-fat Greek yogurt. Typically, in a Waldorf salad, you're going to have mayonnaise and sour cream and all this kind of stuff. Well, today, you know, I'm trying to keep this a little bit healthy. So I have zero fat, low-fat yogurt. This happens to be an oikos that we're going to use. Next, we're going to add some grapes. I'm going to cut these in half. This time I'm going to go to the paring knife and just cut these right in half. Now look, we have a recipe, and it's going to be, how do they get the recipe, Melanie?
How do they get it?
Yeah.
We got this off of the USDA website, I'm pretty sure, the SNAP.
Can they download the recipe?
Yes. Wait, yeah. So you can download this recipe on the UH website too, and the link will be provided.
Perfect. All right, what I was saying is we can, you know, there's obviously a recipe here, but I wanted to show you these knife skills. So these are just about the right proportions. Okay, next. What's next in the apples, grapes, the walnuts again. Add all those walnuts, my yogurt. Actually, it has cucumber in there, I didn't realize. So we're gonna add some diced cucumber, just a little bit. And now we're gonna add our creamy element. You see, another thing I'm not doing with my knife is I'm trying not to pick it up like that. You're just gonna end up cutting yourself eventually if you try to pick up the ingredients with your knife. Okay, here's my yogurt. This is measured out, actually. Okay, a little bit of salt and pepper. And just a tad bit of white vinegar. We're gonna mix this up. Now, Melanie, when they say low-fat yogurt or no-fat yogurt, does that really mean there's no fat in there whatsoever?
So usually there is always like a little bit of fat, but it's just a decreased amount compared to your regular whole milk yogurt.
Gotcha. All right, now, that looks pretty darn good. Now what I would do to plate this is, yeah, you could just throw this in a bowl, but actually I have some spinach left over here. So I'm gonna take this spinach and make just a little bit of bed of spinach on the bottom. I'm gonna take some of this beautiful salad, crackers. You can put it into a sandwich, whatever. Perfect. And then what I like to do at the end is take a little bit of that, for example, a little bit of this apple and just do a nice little cut on it. Kind of garnish the top with that. Take a little bit of a grape. Do a little. I like to emphasize what's in the middle because especially when you're using a creamy dressing like this, you can't really see what's in there. Maybe a little bit of thinly sliced celery. Again, just to emphasize that. And what else? What else? What else did I have? I was going to put something else in there and I forget now. I already had the walnuts, the cucumber. Thank you. And whatever other fresh herb you have laying around would be nice on top. And I just happen to have some dill here, so I'm going to throw some dill right on top. There you go. Hope you try to make that at home. Simple. Ingredients are readily available anywhere. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for joining us.